Hello YouTube, Mikey Cal here, and this is video number 3 in my series on utilizing Blender as a video editor. Now, in my previous video, I showed you how to correctly import a video file into the sequencer. And I just wanted to remind you of the most important lesson from that video, and that's that you need to always double check that the resolution and frame rate settings in your Properties window are configured to match the resolution and frame rate of the video that you are importing. Now, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to maneuver around the sequencer so you can see all the different parts of the strips. And I'm also going to do our first rendering today. We're going to, in a sense, do an edit, the simplest type of edit. We're going to select a range of frames, and we're going to output them to a video file. So let's get started by going down to the Add menu and selecting Movie. And today we're going to select this movie called Big Buck Bunny, which is a Blender Foundation project, and select a random frame to look at. That one will do perfectly. Now, in the previous video, I told you that whenever you import a video into the sequencer, it breaks it into two strips, an audio strip and a video strip, and it places them on separate channels. What I didn't tell you was that every strip has a handle at the beginning and the end. So we can see the beginning handles for these strips, but where are the ending handles? Well, we're too zoomed in, so we need to maneuver around the sequencer so we can see the rest of the strips. One way to do that is to click your middle mouse wheel button on the sequencer, and you drag it around with your mouse. You can see the different parts of the sequencer now. So let's pull it to the left, and that will reveal the end of our strips, and we can see the handles here. Now, what's odd about this? Well, anybody who saw my previous video would have noticed that when I imported these strips, that the numbers don't match. And what does that mean? It means the frame rate is set incorrectly. Well, I wanted to show you guys that when these numbers don't match, it also means that visually the strips will be of a different length. So that's another way to tell that you're using the wrong frame rate. So let's fix that. Let's go up to the frame rate drop-down box and switch it to 24 frames per second, which is correct. And you can see the numbers match now and they end on the same frame. Let's also fix the video strip. It is actually 1280 by 720 resolution, and I have my resolution set to 1080p. The quickest way to fix this is to click on the strip menu and select Set Render Size. There we go, all fixed. Now we can click our middle mouse wheel button and drag back to the beginning of our strips. And let me show you another way that we can actually see our strips on the sequencer. You can use your mouse wheel by scrolling up and down. You can zoom in and out. So let's try that. Let's scroll up. Look at that, I'm zooming in, and scrolling down, and I'm zooming out. Now there's actually one more way, and it's my favorite way to see all of the strips on the sequencer, and it will also show us the beginning and ending of all strips. And that is to use the shortcut key on our keyboard, the Home key. So hold your mouse over the sequencer and hit Home, and now you can see we have the handle at the beginning and the handle at the end. It's showing everything all with one button click. Now there's a little secret. You can use the Home button on all of these windows, and it'll do the exact same thing. If I click it here, it will actually bring this to full screen as well. Now that I've shown you guys how to maneuver around the sequencer, I thought it might be a good idea for me to show you how to do our first render. And we're going to do a really simple edit by using our frame range. Now, let me click on the sequencer with our middle mouse button and drag it over so we can see these two black lines. Now, these black lines represent the start frame and the end frame that will be rendered to the final video. So anything that's not between these two lines, when we click this animation button, it will be left out. So let's select a range, a short range of this video, because I want to take out a small segment of it and output it to a video file. So let's do that by clicking our left mouse button somewhere, and I'm going to set the beginning of our frame range that we want to render by going down to this menu down here called Frame. And you'll see that there's two options in there, Set Start Frame and Set End Frame. So we're going to set the start frame to there, and you see this grayed out a little bit. And now let's select a different frame with our left mouse button and go back down to Frame menu and select Set End Frame. Now, this means that this range will be rendered when we click the animation button. So let's render that out. And what I need you guys to do first is make sure that you have the output folder set to somewhere that you know, because it's going to put the final rendered video into the folder that is listed here. So let's go back up, and we're going to click this animation button, and it's going to render that out. You can see the actual status of the render, and in a moment I'm going to show you what that render looks like. So let's see what it looks like. Pretty cool. So you can take any segment of any video out that quickly. I will see you guys in the next video.